All right, so I want to talk about some of the earlier games. So we're going to start off with the Michigan versus Indiana game, and you know, I'm going to be talking about Jim Harbaugh later in this video, but just looking at this game, last week you can make an argument that Michigan just wasn't ready; they were just unprepared. Michigan State just caught them off guard. Michigan barely had any practice during September, or whatever the excuses that were made. And Michigan fans weren't really making excuses. This is what the media was giving, was pretty much making excuses. Not even the fans. The fans were saying, "Yeah, we lost to Michigan State." The media was out here giving excuses for this football team. This week, however, you can't make any excuse. The media can't make any excuse. We all know the fans, they're not going to make any excuses for this loss. Indiana was just a better football team. And for a team as talented as the Michigan Wolverines, like the Michigan Wolverines might just be the second most talented team in the Big Ten. I know that's been one of the fans' biggest critiques about Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, the fact that they just can't recruit at a high level. And I have to disagree with that. I mean, are they getting into top 5, top 2 territory? No. But they're getting that top 10, borderline top 10, top 15 recruiting classes. And if you look at some of the other teams that have competed against Ohio State, teams like Iowa that have won against Ohio State, Northwestern, Wisconsin has been in a bunch of battles with Ohio State over the years, whether it's Urban Meyer or Ryan Day coaching at the helm, whether if it's Purdue that was able to get a win against Ohio State. I mean, we all know that Ohio State is superior against those teams when it comes to talent, especially a team like Wisconsin that they compete with almost every year. But at the end of the day, it's all about coaching. And this football team, yes, it doesn't have top 5, top 2 recruiting classes, but they have enough damn talent on that roster that they could compete one. Remember Clemson destroyed Ohio State back in 2016 when Clemson had Michigan recruiting numbers, right? They didn't have top 10 or top 5 recruiting classes. They had top 20, borderline, top 15, maybe borderline top 10 recruiting classes. I think their best recruiting class was 8th. And that was the one with Dexter Lawrence, and that was the one with Christian Wilkins. Dexter Lawrence, and those guys there. So there's no excuse. I mean, this was purely coaching, purely just lack of development in certain position areas that Michigan fans have pretty much argued that Jim Harbaugh needs to do a better job with for years. Perfect example is the quarterback position. Milton threw for 300 yards. A lot of his throws, he showed the velocity, he showed the power, the arm strength, the accuracy at times. He showed why a lot of people projected him as being the next best thing. But it is clear and obvious that Milton is still raw. It's clear and obvious that Milton still needs developing and that he still lacks the experience as the quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines. And maybe he just needs more playing time in order for him to become that quarterback. Or hell, maybe he just needs more development. Maybe somehow, some way, he needs more help from this coaching staff in order for him to reach the ceiling that a lot of the Michigan fans expect him to be. But yes, this game, ladies and gentlemen, Indiana just outplayed Michigan. Simple as that. Indiana had less turnovers. Indiana, I think, had less penalties. Indiana was more effective in the ground game, even though it wasn't that much effective. Indiana only had like 118 rushing yards, and they averaged over 3.9 yards a carry. But they were more effective in the rushing game because Michigan got shut the hell out in the running game. The bread and butter of the Michigan Wolverines is the power run game. This time they ran it. They ran it straight for straight spread. They normally run under center. They didn't do that this year. They wanted to be a little bit more modern in their run game, but still run that power scheme. And Michigan got shut the hell out this football game. There's just no excuse. There's no excuse for this performance that the Michigan Wolverines did against the Indiana Hoosiers. You think Indiana has the same talent level as Michigan? No, they have nowhere near it. But you know what Indiana does have, what they showed today in this football game, is that they've got coaches that know how to properly develop their kids. And that is something that the Michigan Wolverines, at least this year, has failed to. Because trust me, they put kids in the NFL. Michigan had more than 10 kids drafted in the NFL this year. But you look at the certain positions, like the quarterback position, which has been the biggest downfall to why Michigan can't beat Ohio State, they still can't find it. They got a guy that is more of a project guy, that's a big, strong, physical quarterback, but that's still raw and needs more help. They've had talent at that position before. They just need the proper development. And from what we've seen there in this football game, Milton showed the potential, but he's nowhere near it. Again, the ground game, they were completely dominated off the line of scrimmage. This offensive line, which is full of four-star kids, couldn't do shit. Their best player on the football field was Ronnie Bell, who I felt played a phenomenal game. And I feel bad for him because, you know, you just feel bad for the kid. Because who knows, you know, how many opportunities is this kid going to get? How many games, you know, because he clearly showed that he has the talent to be an NFL receiver today. But how many games is he going to get that opportunity? You know, I mean, there's really just not that much to say. I mean, last week there was a lot to say. This week there's just not. Indiana was just better. They were more dominant. They played with more heart. They played with more motivation. Indiana just wanted it more. And from the start all the way to the finish, Indiana was just the better football team. Michigan, you guys got a lot of talent. And you guys should not be wanting to. You guys should be nowhere near this position. But at the end of the day, it starts with the coach. That's Jim Harbaugh. And, you know, a lot of people make an argument that he shouldn't be on the hot seat. And, you know, who knows? That's not my team. But if I was defending the Michigan Wolverines, I would definitely have more questions than answers after this football game. And you have to ask yourselves, is Jim Harbaugh really the guy that can take us to the next level? Because, let's be honest here, Michigan hasn't competed for a championship when Jim Harbaugh wasn't there since 2007. And Michigan has really been an 8-9-1, 10-win football team before, they've always been that. I mean, they've only had one season where they had 12 wins, and that was back in 97. But Michigan has always been held to a very, very, very high standard. And I don't know if Jim Harbaugh, and I don't know if Michigan fans know that Jim Harbaugh is that guy that can get them above that standard. We'll find out about that, but like I said before, the Indiana Hoosiers was better than you. They don't have the talent that you do. Wisconsin doesn't have the talent like the Michigan Wolverines do. But somehow, in some way, Michigan will always find themselves in this position where the fans have to ask themselves, why in the hell what are we still lacking? How are we still lacking, and what do we need to do? Is Jim Harbaugh really the guy? And so far from what we've seen, he's not that guy that can get Michigan over the hump. Again, credit to the Indiana Hoosiers. You guys played a phenomenal football game. You guys have been impressed the last 3 weeks. We'll see if they can keep it up. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys, at least for today. If you guys want to check out more videos from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also notification bell, especially if you guys don't want to miss another college football video that I will put up. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, because I'm going to start posting more on my social medias, that will be in the link below the description if you guys want to check that out as well. So anyway, guys, Jen716, a.k.a. Jen Sports. I'll check you guys out later. Peace.